We begin with some news just coming in. Donald Trump says he'll meet Vladimir Putin next Friday in Alaska to discuss ending the war in Ukraine. The Kremlin has not confirmed the date and venue of the summit, though. It will be the first meeting since the US president's return to office in January. Today's announcement coincides with the deadline Trump set for Russia to end the war or face new punitive actions. We can now bring in our Washington correspondent, Misha Komodowski. Misha, what more can you tell us about this meeting?
Well, President Donald Trump, as we just heard from him, is set to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin on August 15th in Alaska. This will be their first in-person meeting since the start of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. So far, we know that the summit is planned as a bilateral meeting. It is unclear if President Zelensky of Ukraine will meet President Trump beforehand or after. And as far as we know from our sources, the Ukrainian side is very much interested in holding such a meeting beforehand. And the summit follows discussions between Trump's envoys, Steve Witkoff and Putin, and is part of attempts by the U.S. administration to negotiate peace and potentially resolve Russia's war in Ukraine. President Trump, as we know, had issued an ultimatum to Russia to agree to a ceasefire or face new, potentially severe economic sanctions. And the deadline was today, but those measures were not imposed, as we see. And Trump hasn't ended the war in Ukraine in 24 hours, as he promised. Now he talks about, and I quote, stopping the killing. And the devil is in the details here. Former Pentagon officials told me that he could claim a Black Sea ceasefire and a pause in airstrikes as a win, halting Russian raids, but also Ukraine's drone strikes and drone attacks, potentially aiding Russia's ground offensive.
Now, before this announcement, it was suggested that Trump and Putin could meet in the United Arab Emirates. Now it's Alaska, which seems more like Trump's territory.
Yes, indeed. The choice of Alaska as the meeting place for the Trump-Putin summit is notable and holds specific significance. Practically, it offers a quieter, less crowded, if I may, and highly secure environment compared to major international hubs. It can be perceived as more Trump's turf, you're right, as it is one of the 50 American states. It also has a history, if we remember, of U.S.-Russia diplomacy going back to the 19th century when it was Russian territory before being purchased by the United States. And this connection makes the location more, let me say, symbolic, but we'll have to wait and see if it helps the summit succeed.
Okay. DW's Misha Komodowski in Washington. Many thanks.
Thank you.